And the once known man known as America's Dad, Bill Cosby, is now a convicted sex offender. A jury in Norristown, Pennsylvania, found the 80-year-old guilty on all 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Cosby was charged with drugging and sexually assaulting former Temple University employee Andrea Constand at his Philadelphia home back in 2004. Other women who also accused Cosby of assault say this verdict is a victory for women everywhere.
Validation and vindication.
I feel like my faith in humanity is restored. It's also a victory for all sexual assault survivors, female and male. It's a victory for womanhood.
Cosby was released on bail and placed under house arrest. He faces up to 10 years in prison and a fine of $25,000 for each count. His attorney says they plan to file an appeal.
And Jill Stanley is an attorney and the founder of Proof with Jill Stanley, and she has been watching this trial very closely with us. This is the second trial, Jill. Is this what you expected?
It's what I hoped for. So is it what I expected? You can't ever say that with a jury. When you put the decision in the hands of 12 different people, you can't really expect anything, but it was certainly my hope.
We heard a lot more this time, though, from other victims, and that was very different from the first trial. Do you think that swayed them?
Oh, without a doubt, and thank God for that decision by Judge O'Neill. Round 1, the prosecution did ask for the testimony of 19 other women. Judge O'Neill then said, nah, we're going to give you 1. You know, there was no opinion on it. He never explained why he said only 1. So as a lawyer, I'm going to tell you why it was only 1. And that is because in the system that we have in the United States, you want to be charged and considered for the crime you're being charged for. The crime that Cosby was charged with was what he did to Andrea Constand, not what he did to 19 other women. But that doesn't mean the testimony isn't relevant. And so Judge O'Neill last year kind of went a little wimpy on it and said, yeah, we'll give you 1. This year, totally different set of circumstances. And he said, you know what, we'll give you 5. We got 5 people coming in and said, he befriended me. I trusted him. He drugged me. He assaulted me. The same exact story 5 times. Powerful, critical evidence in this 2018 trial.
The jury in this case wanted a reread of the defense witness, Marguerite Jackson, as well as the reread of the 2005 deposition of Bill Cosby. How much did that play into what happened here today? And this could have gone either way with those 2 requests.
Meaning whether they could give it, they could read it back, or whether the decision would sway differently.
Decision would be
so when you're, like I just said, with a jury, you have no idea what's going to happen. Anyone who's going to tell you and say, well, I know that question came out like that, so we think the jury meant that. You have no idea. You got 12 people with 12 different backgrounds and 12 different ways they look at life. However, when they wanted to look at these 2 pieces of evidence kind of simultaneously, very important. It could be because it was so dense. Both of that information was very dense. Yeah. Cosby's deposition was long and a little bit boring to listen to. Marguerite Jackson's information was so critical because she talked about this alleged plot or plan that Andrea Constand came up with. And what I want to point out is in that 2005 deposition that Cosby gave in the civil case, he was asked about the money. Do you think Andrea Constand was swayed by money, that she was going for money? And in that deposition, he said no. So those 2 pieces of information right next to each other, while the jury is considering them both, they can say, hey, you know what? The guy sitting right there said it wasn't about money.
Yeah. What happens next year? Lots of people are wondering, is he really going to go to jail? He's 80 years old. What are your thoughts on that?
He's going to jail. There's no doubt in my mind. I think they will appeal, no doubt.
Right.
I think there are some issues. This is not such an easy matter because of the way this case came to be. Don't forget, in 2005, the local police say, hey, we're not prosecuting. Andrea went away, by the way. She didn't come back and say, hey, police, can we still open this case and let me go again? She never did that. How the case started back up again was that the deposition transcript was released because a news organization asked for it to be released 5 years post its being closed. And that opened the whole gates again because Cosby talked about the Spanish fly and the Quaaludes. And then the DA's office said, hey, wait, this is new information.
But there was also an election for the DA. And so there was a DA who said, you know, kind of made this will be, you know, what we're going to do. We're going to go
And he ran on that, no doubt.
Let's talk about the direct effect this case has had on the statute of limitations in certain parts of the country. What has this done?
Well, Cosby, for years, the Cosby case has had such a great impact on the statute of limitations for sexual assault and rape. In fact, directly related to Cosby, is that the state of California abolished their statute of limitations. The state of Nevada, the state of Colorado extended their statute of limitations to 20 years from 10. These are amazing changes. So in addition to what it's doing, how it's buoying the Me Too movement, how we're all feeling just, I don't know about you, but I feel a little better today. And so I think that can't be discounted. I think we're all feeling just a little more confident in the system, and that victims can come out and share their stories and be heard. And don't forget, these 5 women who testified in this case, their cases will never be heard. This was their moment.
Yeah. All right, Jill, we really appreciate you coming in and talking this through with us.
You know how I feel about this case.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. All right. Thank you so much.